on today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys some of the things I'll put in place and doing differently if I'm doing distant marriage again. I was in distant marriage for almost 8 years, and I must tell you, I've learned a whole lot of lessons in this process. Without much further ado, let's dive straight into today's video. Distant marriage can be tough, and if you are not strong, you might not really be able to cope. Okay, distant marriage actually shaped me, and at this point, if I'm going to be going into it again, these are some of the things I will do differently. These are some of the things I will talk with my husband, like we are going to be sitting down to talk about it. I'm a joke or I'm a just sonny, because somebody cannot come and kill me. Okay, na person born me. Where the distance came was actually when we were trying to survive. We just started with building our own family. It wasn't quite long when I moved in with my husband. Okay, if you have seen from my previous video, then you will understand where this story is actually coming from. Okay, so when the distance came, not quite long, I moved in with my husband. That was when the opportunity for my husband to travel abroad came, and we just jump on it. So without talking about some certain things we ought to talk about, due to the fact that I don't really know so much about it, and that was the whole thing. But later in time, I actually went through some phases, because distant marriage is not a joke. Like it wasn't a joke. Okay, a lot of things is going to go down. You are not strong, and if you are not prepared, you might find yourself where you don't expect or where you don't want. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about communication with my husband, because at the time he went, I wasn't really a social media person. I wasn't really an outgoing kind of person. So I was kind of reserved person. He knows me to be a very reserved person, that, oh, I don't have friends. I don't go out. I don't. So it showed about my own personality. I was very assured about his own personality too. But then, you guys remember, marriage is coming together of different people. Women, we are more committed into marriage more than men. Anything can happen when it comes to men sometimes. So this came and we just grabbed the opportunity, and he left. So leaving me and our daughter, because at that time we only have one child at the time. So he was rest assured, because at that time I was still fresh into marriage and stuff. Okay, so I usually go to, he knows so much about me, like at the time, because the only place I go to is probably go to church when I come back. I haven't even started any business then. I've not started any business then. I was still trying to figure out myself at the time. I was still thinking of going back for, my HND program at the time, trying to, be responsible for myself. I was trying to be productive, and yeah, I think I talked about it in my last video or thereabout. So if you haven't seen it, probably I'm going to leave the link to some of those videos in the description for you guys to go over and watch. Okay, so he just came and he left, and yeah, so many years, I think after he left, he came back 2 years later, and from there, and you guys know, a lot of things happen abroad depending on the country you went to and all that. So he left, and yeah, we're communicating. There was mobile phone at the time, yeah. But then I think it was during the time of BlackBerry. My husband traveled during the time of BlackBerry, where you have to share a pin. You guys remember that BlackBerry era where we share pin to communicate. I think the only place we communicate then was through BBM, and also probably Facebook. Because we don't really communicate so well, because at that time I'm not really a fan of communication. All I just do is pray for him, and everybody is good. He's good. So we just communicate on phone, on Facebook at the time, and all that. Yeah. So we kept on going like that. But trust me, guys, despite all of that, but if I am going to be we must be able to to decide the realistic commitment of communication. Like, how are we going to be communicating? Okay, how are we going to be communicating? What time? What are you doing at every point in time? Because trust me, guys, like, there's nothing like irrelevant information when you are doing distant marriage or distant relationship, you know, with somebody. There's not information counts, okay? Whether you're in the toilet, you are with friends, you are drinking water, every information counts when you are doing distant relationship. So if you are not ready to some level of communication, there might be a problem at the end of the day. And yeah, these are some of the things I will talk about with my husband, like ajumama communicate, báwo la ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀, okay, when are you coming back, okay, what am I doing? I'm taking care of the kids and all. These are some of the things I will talk about. Another thing I'll be talking about is, put in place is transparency. There must be transparency. I must know everything going on in his life, and he must also know everything going on in my life, even if it's not 100%. But some of the most important thing going on in our lives must be, must be able to share it with must be transparent enough to tell ourselves some things. It's not as if something will be going on in his life or my life. I'll be hearing it from an outsider. It might bring problem at the end of the day. These are some of the things I will talk about or I will put in place if I'm doing it again. Another thing I'll be, putting in place is shared activities. And myself and my husband, we must be able to share our activities with ourselves. We must be able to, I must know what he's doing at every point in time, and vice versa. He must be able to know that about me as well. Okay, whether I'm going out. And also, you need to understand that while you are sharing this activity with yourself, you must stick to it. You must have planned, like you must plan it. Yes, I'm doing that. These activities must be shared among yourself. This will give a sense of responsibilities and among yourselves, and this is some of the things I will do differently at this point. So another thing I'll be doing differently is discipline. Okay, these are some of the things you should put in place. That's if you are doing distant relationship with whoever, you must be disciplined. If you are the type of person that you are not disciplined, or you just do things anyhow, it might not really be able to work for you. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's only a woman that must be faithful in marriage or in relationship. No, the disciplines must be, must be on the both sides, must be shared. Like if I'm disciplined as a person, as a woman, he must also be in the sense that, can you trust yourself? Can you trust your partner? Can you trust yourself when you are not around them? These are some of the reasons for that being disciplined. It's not as if we be open to everybody. Oh, because he's not around, then I must be, hugging every man I see. I must be, I must be making friends with everybody I see, especially with the opposite sex. This is some of the things I would do differently. Even though I wasn't like that, but I'm just trying to share this for you guys to learn from, especially for younger people who are looking forward to going into distant marriage, because I do, because of the fact that the kind of person I am. Okay, but trust me, him being a man, I wasn't really rest assured all the time, because me then, even though it wasn't really a topmost thing at that time, but right now is a topmost thing, because a lot of things is coming on now that we all are seeing online and stuff like that. So yeah, so these are some of the things. Another thing I will talk about is the planned end. Like planned end, we are going to be planned end means that, when are you coming back? Okay, what is the duration of, what is the duration of time are you going to spend there? Are we joining you? Am I joining you over there? Am I joining family? These are some of the things I'm going to be asking or doing differently, because I didn't get to ask some of these questions then, because things were different there and we're trying to survive. So every opportunity we're trying to grab it. But right now, things are better now. Okay, it's are better, we are more exposed. I've learned some lessons about how to go about things, even though after some years I later joined him there. After 9 years he traveled. After him being there for 9 years, that was when I later go over there to join him. But before then, a whole lot of things actually went down. And yeah, so for people who are actually looking forward to going into this distant relationship, you need to talk about a whole lot of things. Don't just jump on it. Don't just to sit down. You need to have a heart-to-heart talk with your partner before you venture into the distant marriage or relationship, or you are trying to go into. So yeah, these are some of the things you need to talk about when you are coming back, the level of communication and all that, because a lot of distant relationship can be it can be tough, and if you are not strong, you might not really be able to cope. You can't be unfaithful from relationship level and expect to be faithful in marriage. It cannot happen. So you need to understand this. So you need to understand the kind of person you are going into relationship with, this especially distant relationship with. Okay, these are some of the questions you need to ask yourself when you're likely to be together permanently. These are some of the things you need to ask. Okay, don't just jump on it. And also don't forget, you need to be very, very prayerful. You need to pray for your partner, because a lot of things will happen along the way, and you know, it might not really be their doing, but about their journey. You need to always pray for them. Don't forget to, you need to put your relationship into the hands of the Lord all the time. You need to, you know, put yourself in prayer as well. Okay, and yeah, and you know, everything will fall into pleasant places. So anyway, guys, so if you watch this video to this point and you didn't subscribe, why are you doing that? Please try to subscribe. Okay, try to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share my video, because you don't know who might need this. Drop me a lovely comment and I will so appreciate that. Okay, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you guys in my next one.